Chosen one, you did not find this message found you. Heaven has aligned your steps with divine precision, bringing you here in this very moment for a reason. You are not scrolling by coincidence. You are standing at the threshold of your Kairos moment, the appointed time where heaven's decree meets earthly manifestation. There is a supernatural transfer moving in your direction, not just of wealth, but of divine authority, restoration, and destiny. Every delay, every rejection, every battle you faced was not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. For it is written in Deuteronomy 8:18, "It is the Lord your God who gives you power to get wealth." That power is awakening inside you now. Chosen one, the warfare against you has been proof of what you carry. The enemy saw your crown long before you did, but what he could not stop, he tried to distract, yet still you rise. Still you believe. Still you are here. And that means heaven's agenda is unfolding through your life. So, still your mind and open your spirit. The next words you hear will not just inspire you, they will activate what's been waiting to be released within you. Chosen one, before we go any further, take a deep breath. The fact that you are here listening to these words is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. Heaven has orchestrated this moment down to the very second. The scroll stopped because eternity leaned in. You were summoned into this space for a reason that even your mind may not fully understand yet. For too long, you've felt the tension of being different, the quiet weight of knowing you see things others overlook, that you feel what others ignore. It hasn't been easy. You've been misunderstood, underestimated, and at times even betrayed by those who once claimed to love you. You've questioned yourself, your purpose, your path. And yet, somehow, through it all, you're still here. Still breathing, still searching, still fighting. That's not survival, that's divine design. Anointed one, listen closely. You've been walking through a season of testing, but that testing was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prove you. Every delay, every rejection, every unanswered prayer has been part of your refinement. What you thought was a setback was actually God's protection, a sacred delay to prepare you for what you've been praying for. Because what's coming next is not ordinary. You are standing on the threshold of a supernatural reversal, a divine wealth transfer, and a restoration that will silence every doubt that ever spoke against you. The spiritual warfare you've faced has been so relentless because of what's inside you. The enemy never wastes energy on the powerless. He attacks the ones carrying the most promise. He targets the chosen because your light threatens his control. Every whisper of fear, every thought of doubt, every false voice that tried to convince you that you were forgotten, those were weapons of distraction. They wanted you to give up before heaven could release what was promised. But you didn't. You're still standing. You're still believing, even when faith didn't make sense. And that, chosen one, is why the shift has begun. Heaven is moving on your behalf. You may not see it yet, but things are already aligning in the unseen realm. Doors that were once locked are beginning to open. Resources that were held back are being released. Divine connections are forming behind the curtain of your current circumstances. You're about to step into a season where heaven's timing collides with your obedience, and when that happens, everything changes. I've felt that shift before. I've walked through nights when I thought I'd lost everything, only to realize later that heaven was clearing space for something greater. I've watched prayers sit unanswered for years, then suddenly manifest overnight when my heart finally caught up to God's timing. That's what's happening for you right now. Heaven isn't late, it's precise, and you are entering your appointed time. Chosen one, this isn't just another season, it's your Kairos moment, your divine intersection where delay ends and destiny begins. You've been faithful over little, and now heaven is trusting you with much. Your pain has become your passport. Your wilderness has been your training ground. Every tear has watered the soil of breakthrough. So hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. The world may have tried to convince you that you missed your chance, that it's too late, that the window closed. But what heaven ordains cannot expire. The same God who resurrects what others call dead is breathing on your story right now. Anointed One, the pressure you felt wasn't punishment, it was proof of purpose. You were being shaped for significance. And now, heaven is about to reveal why the journey had to be this long, this lonely, this hard. Because when the glory unfolds, you'll understand that every closed door, every betrayal, every tear, it all served a purpose. Chosen One, stand still for a moment. Feel the atmosphere around you shifting. The winds of divine change are already moving. This is not the end of your story, it's the unveiling of your assignment. You are stepping out of waiting and into fulfillment. You've survived the breaking. Now, you're about to witness the blessing. Chosen One, the reason your life has been filled with opposition is not because you're cursed, it's because you're called. You have felt resistance in every direction, because heaven placed something inside you that threatens the systems of darkness. You were born to disrupt what others conform to challenge what's false, to awaken what's been asleep for generations. From the moment you entered this world, your light marked you. Even before you understood your own worth, the unseen realm did. That's why the battles began so early, before you even had words for them. You were attacked in childhood through rejection, in youth through confusion, and in adulthood through betrayal. But every attack carried a secret message. They saw your power before you did. Anointed One, the war around you has never been random. It's been strategic. Every delay, every loss, every disappointment was designed to break your focus. Because the one thing the enemy fears more than your gifts is your awareness of them. As long as you doubt your power, they win. As long as you believe you are unworthy, they rest easy. But the moment you remember who you are, the atmosphere shifts. I know that war personally. There were nights when I couldn't tell whether I was under attack or under construction. When everything I built seemed to fall apart, I used to ask, God, why me? But then I realized, the size of the battle reveals the size of the calling. The enemy doesn't fight anyone who poses no threat. So, if your warfare has been heavy, it's because your destiny is weighty. Chosen One, your very presence exposes deception. That's why some people can't stand you, even when you've done nothing wrong. Your energy makes hidden motives visible. Your anointing convicts what's false. You carry an atmosphere that unsettles those still at war with their own darkness. And yet, you wonder why you walk alone. It's because you were never meant to blend in. The truth is, you are not fighting flesh and blood. You're confronting systems of limitation, generational curses, and unseen forces that have tried to stop your bloodline from rising. But you are the interruption. You're the chosen vessel, heaven raised up to rewrite what runs in your family, to end what broke others, to release what was withheld. That's why the opposition is fierce, because your breakthrough will echo beyond you. Listen to me carefully. The pain you've endured is not wasted. Every sleepless night, every betrayal, every silent tear, they've been counted in heaven. The same fire that tried to consume you has purified you instead. The weapons formed against you did not prosper. They trained you. You were never destroyed. You were developed. Anointed One, this is why your discernment is increasing. You can feel deception before it speaks. You can sense danger before it appears. You can see beyond what people say, because heaven has tuned your spirit to a higher frequency. You no longer need confirmation from others. Your confirmation comes from within, from the quiet whisper of the Spirit reminding you, you were made for this. And here's the prophetic truth. This war is ending in your favor. The same forces that once attacked you will now announce you. The same voices that doubted you will testify of your transformation. The very areas of your life that were under siege are about to become your strongest testimonies. You are stepping into a reversal season, where everything that worked against you will start working for you. I can feel it. The tide is turning. The weight you've been carrying is breaking. The confusion, the weariness, the silence, they're lifting. Heaven is declaring over you, the testing is complete. You have proven faithful under fire, and now it's time to see the fruit of your endurance. Chosen one, don't fear the darkness anymore, it fears you. The storm doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're rising. Every force that came to bury you is about to witness your rebirth. Stand tall, anointed one. You've survived the war, now prepare to walk in your reward. Chosen one, listen carefully. What once worked against you is now about to work for you. Heaven is declaring reversal. Everything that the enemy meant for harm is being rewritten for your good. The season of loss, the wilderness of silence, the betrayal that left you empty, they were never endings, they were alignments. You were being positioned for the unveiling of favor. Anointed one, you've spent years feeling unseen, overlooked, misunderstood. But heaven saw it all, the obedience when no one was watching, the faith you held when everything seemed impossible, the love you gave even when your heart was breaking. None of it went unnoticed. Heaven has kept a record, and now the scales are tipping. Where there was loss, there will be restoration. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was lack, there will be abundance. This is what divine reversal looks like. Doors that once closed will open of their own accord. People who walked away will have to watch your rising. Opportunities that seemed gone forever will reappear, multiplied. And the best part? You won't have to chase any of it. The same way blessings overtook Joseph in Egypt and Ruth in the field, heaven's favor is now overtaking you. I remember a time when I lost almost everything: relationships, finances, peace. It felt like the world was collapsing around me. But in that void, I learned something heaven had been trying to show me all along. That loss clears the ground for new glory. When everything familiar was gone, I had nothing left to depend on except God, and that's when the supernatural began to move. Within months, what I thought was gone forever came back in greater measure. Not as replacement, but as restoration. That's what heaven is preparing for you. Chosen one, you've entered your divine unveiling, the moment when what was hidden in obscurity begins to shine in full view. Heaven has been your silent advocate, working in the background while you walked through the shadows. The favor that was delayed was not denied. It was maturing. It was waiting for you to become the version of yourself who could carry it without losing peace. And now you are ready. This next move won't require striving. It will require stillness, because divine favor flows to those aligned, not those anxious. You've already done the work. You've already proven your faith. Now it's about receiving. You don't have to force what heaven has already finished. And yes, the same people who once doubted you will have to witness what God is doing through you. That's not revenge, that's revelation. The vindication of heaven is never petty, it's purposeful. You won't rise to prove them wrong. You'll rise to prove that faithfulness works. The light that shines on you now is not just about blessing, it's about testimony. You are becoming the evidence that God still honors His promises. Anointed one, I can sense it in my spirit. The reversal has already started. Situations that have been stagnant are beginning to shift. Conversations are happening about you in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Divine helpers are being stirred, moved by a hand they can't explain, drawn toward your name. Heaven's network is active, and your file has been pulled from the waiting list. You are walking into a suddenly season where one day of favor will accomplish what 10 years of struggle could not. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," is now speaking over your finances, your purpose, your destiny. You will begin to see acceleration, divine speed that makes up for every lost year. Chosen one, don't mistake this quiet before the breakthrough as silence. It's strategy. Heaven is aligning the pieces for a public unveiling. And when it happens, it will feel effortless, because what's born of grace does not require striving. Hold your peace, stay steady. Your name is being whispered in divine places. The tables are turning. The season has shifted. The favor you've been praying for, it's already here. Chosen one, every fire you've walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to define you. Heaven has been refining you, not rejecting you. You may not realize it yet, but the very flames that once burned you are the same ones that purified you for the next level of anointing. You've been through what others couldn't survive because your calling required it. Anointed one, there is a principle written deep within the laws of the Spirit. Only what has been tested can be trusted. God could not place authority in your hands until He first proved your character in the fire. Every season of isolation, every moment of lack, every betrayal that stripped you bare, it all served one purpose: to separate the pure from the superficial, the divine from the disposable. I remember the season when everything around me seemed to fall apart. I lost people I thought would never leave, plans I thought would always stand, and dreams I thought were unshakable. For a while, I thought I was being punished. But then I realized I wasn't being punished, I was being purified. The false foundations had to burn so that only truth could remain. What I thought was the end was actually my becoming. Chosen one, that's what's happening to you now. The shaking you felt wasn't to scare you, it was to settle you. Heaven was breaking everything in you that couldn't go with you: the doubt, the fear, the dependency on people's approval. It all had to be consumed in the refining fire, because where you're going, you can't carry what used to hold you back. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it reveals it. And that's exactly what has been happening to you. You have been forged for influence, pressed for power, and purified for purpose. The pressure you endured wasn't random, it was refinement by design. Heaven was increasing your capacity, stretching your spirit to hold more oil. The more intense the trial, the greater the trust that follows. Anointed one, hear me clearly. Your authority now carries weight, because it was born through suffering. When you speak, heaven listens. When you pray, things shift. When you declare, the atmosphere bends. You carry scars that don't represent defeat, but proof of endurance. You've become dangerous to darkness because you no longer fear the fire, you've learned to walk in it. There is an anointing that only pain can produce. It gives your voice depth, your eyes discernment, and your heart compassion. The world doesn't need another perfect soul. It needs someone who has walked through fire and still carries love in their hands. That's you. You're not just chosen, you're tempered. You've been melted, molded, and remade by the Master's hands. Chosen one, the authority on your life now isn't about power for its own sake, it's about stewardship. You've been entrusted with something holy. Your words will begin to carry prophetic weight. Your presence will begin to shift environments, not because of status, but because of surrender. Heaven anoints the humble, and your humility through hardship has drawn heaven's attention. You are about to walk in a level of confidence that feels unfamiliar, not prideful confidence, but divine assurance. You will speak, and things will happen. You will move, and obstacles will yield. Because you're not moving in your name anymore. You're moving under heaven's authority. And with that authority comes clarity. The confusion that once clouded your path will begin to dissolve. The people who once doubted you will have no choice but to see the evidence of God's hand on your life. Not through argument, through fruit. Anointed one, the fire that once consumed your peace has now refined your power. You are stepping into a new dimension of spiritual weight, where your obedience will carry influence, and your endurance will inspire others. Don't despise the fire, thank it. It didn't burn you, it birthed you. You are not who you were before the storm. You are stronger, wiser, and unshakably aligned. The fire has finished its work. The anointing has been released. Now, chosen one, it's time to reign. Chosen one, listen closely. Heaven is about to expose what's been hidden, both the false and the faithful. Everything that's been moving in darkness around you is being brought to light. This is the season where God unveils what's real and removes what's not. And as this exposure happens, divine elevation follows, because truth always precedes promotion. For so long, you've wondered why certain people were allowed close to you only to betray your trust. Why you felt drained after helping others who never poured back into you. Why you gave love and loyalty only to receive silence in return. But chosen one, it was never about the pain, it was about revelation. Heaven was showing you who could not go with you into the next dimension of your purpose. The exposure may sting, but it's sacred. You asked God to bless you, and before He can do that, He must first separate you. He can't elevate you while you're still surrounded by what secretly resents your growth. So when people walk away, don't chase them. Their exit is an answered prayer. I remember a time when I prayed for expansion, more opportunity, more impact, more anointing. But what came instead was pruning. People left, projects failed, plans collapsed. And I thought heaven had gone silent. But the truth was, heaven was cleansing my environment. The exposure was mercy in disguise. When the dust settled, I realized that everything that left me was never meant to carry what was coming next. That was the moment my elevation began. Anointed one, this is exactly where you are now. The shifting you feel is heaven rearranging your surroundings. The people you lose are not a sign of rejection, they're a sign of readiness. The divine is clearing your atmosphere, because what's about to rest on you cannot coexist with counterfeit energy. You are stepping into a level of purpose where discernment is your protection. And here's the prophetic truth. Your name is being called in rooms your feet have not yet entered. There are conversations happening right now about your destiny. Doors are opening that your hands never touched. What once was hidden will now be highlighted. The gifts you thought no one noticed, heaven is about to broadcast them. Chosen one, divine exposure works both ways. Just as false voices are being silenced, your true voice is being amplified. Heaven is spotlighting you not to glorify you, but to fulfill the mission you were born for. You are not rising for attention. You are rising for assignment. The world needs to see what obedience under pressure looks like, and that's exactly what you've become. The elevation that's coming will not be subtle, it will be sudden. One moment you'll feel unseen, and the next, heaven will place you in front of the very people who once ignored you. But this time, you won't need to prove yourself. The oil on your life will speak louder than words. When the anointing rests on someone, it makes explanation unnecessary. Anointed one, this rise is not about status, it's about stewardship. Heaven is entrusting you with influence because you've shown that you can carry it with humility. You don't crave recognition, you crave revelation. That's why God can trust you with visibility. And yet, even in elevation, stay anchored. Don't let the applause distract you from the assignment. The same humility that brought you here will keep you here. Remember, elevation without alignment becomes destruction, but elevation with divine order becomes destiny fulfilled. Chosen one, what's coming next will feel like acceleration. It won't make sense in human timing because it's not human, it's divine recompense. You've sown in tears, now you'll reap in overflow. Every hidden sacrifice, every unseen prayer, every silent endurance has been heard, counted, and multiplied. The exposure was not the end, it was the doorway. The elevation isn't a reward, it's a responsibility. And heaven has decided you're ready. So lift your head, anointed one. Your season of obscurity has expired. The unveiling has begun, and your elevation is unstoppable. Chosen one, heaven is releasing something that cannot be explained by logic, a supernatural transfer. The flow of divine provision is shifting hands. Resources, influence, and authority that once belonged to the ungodly are being rerouted to those who have been purified in faith, tested in the fire, and proven in stewardship. You are one of them. Anointed one, for too long you've watched others prosper while you endured hidden seasons of lack. You've seen doors open for those who manipulated their way forward while you waited with integrity and tears. But the heavens are now saying, the time of reversal has come. What was stored up is being released. The wealth of the wicked, financial, spiritual, and positional, is being transferred into righteous hands, into yours. This isn't just about money, it's about mantles. A mantle is the spiritual authority to walk in divine dominion over a territory, whether in business, creativity, ministry, or influence. You've been prepared for this moment, though the process looked like loss. The pruning was training, and the wilderness was orientation. You were learning how to handle overflow before it arrived. I know what it's like to pray for provision and receive pruning, instead to ask for opportunity and receive silence. But I've seen this pattern before. When heaven delays, it multiplies. God was not withholding from you, He was preserving what was meant for you until your heart could hold it without being consumed by it. That's why everything took time. Because what's coming next isn't a blessing you visit, it's a dimension you occupy. Chosen one, the transfer that's coming will not be subtle. You'll see sudden shifts, unexpected opportunities, divine connections, open financial gates, even cancelled debts. Heaven's economy operates on faith, not figures. You will begin to attract provision that seems too big for your hands, but just right for your calling. Because this wealth is not meant for comfort, it's meant for kingdom work. There's a reason the battle for your mind, your faith, and your finances has been so relentless. The enemy understood that if you ever realized what's inside you, if you ever saw yourself as a vessel of divine economy, nothing could stop you. That's why you've been through cycles of lack, of limitation, of almosts. But now, the cycle has broken. Anointed one, you are stepping into the season of overflow, not the kind that fades, but the kind that flows through you. Heaven doesn't bless reservoirs, it blesses rivers. And you, chosen one, are that river. You've proven that when you have little, you still give. When you have much, you still serve. That is why God can trust you with this next dimension of abundance. This divine transfer won't require manipulation, it requires positioning. Stand in alignment, stay obedient, and keep your spirit clean. The flow is not earned through striving but through surrender. You are not chasing wealth. Wealth is being magnetized to your obedience. When you move in divine purpose, resources recognize your name. I sense a prophetic stirring. New financial doors will open in unusual ways through divine partnerships, supernatural ideas, sudden favor in the workplace, creative inspiration that multiplies income. Some of you will receive strategies in your dreams. Others will have one conversation that changes everything. This isn't coincidence, it's Kairos, divine timing. Chosen one. Remember, when heaven transfers wealth, it also transfers responsibility. You're being called to steward impact, not image. This blessing is not about luxury, it's about legacy. The same hands that once held broken pieces will now hold abundance. But don't forget, the purpose of abundance is assignment. You are being equipped to feed, to free, and to fund what heaven is building on earth. So, lift your eyes, the drought is over. The manna has turned into multiplication. The storehouses of heaven are open, and your name is on the release. Walk in it, anointed one, not as a beggar, but as a bearer of divine dominion. Chosen one, the greatest war you'll ever fight will not be around you, it will be within you. Long before the enemy attacks your finances, your relationships, or your opportunities, he attacks your mind. Because whoever controls your thoughts controls your destiny. That's why the battlefield isn't physical, it's spiritual, and the weapon is not fear, but faith. Anointed One, the attacks you've endured recently weren't random, they were strategic. Every whisper of doubt, every wave of confusion, every feeling of exhaustion, it was all an attempt to fracture your focus. The enemy knows he can't take what heaven has given you, so instead, he tries to make you doubt that you deserve it. He can't steal your promise, so he attacks your perception. You've felt it, the inner war between faith and fear. One voice says, "It's coming," the other says, "It's over." One whispers hope, the other screams despair. But chosen one, hear me clearly. The moment you silence the wrong voice, the war shifts. The power was never in the circumstance, it was in your agreement. Heaven moves where your faith abides. I've lived that war myself. I remember the nights when anxiety was louder than prayer, when I questioned everything God promised because nothing looked like it was working. But that's when I learned, faith isn't about what you see, it's about what you refuse to stop believing. Every storm tried to take my peace, but I realized peace isn't found when the storm ends, it's found when you remember who calms it. Chosen one, the mind is sacred territory. Guard it like holy ground. Every thought you allow shapes your reality. You can't think defeat and walk in victory. You can't meditate on fear and manifest faith. That's why the word says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind," because new seasons require new thought patterns. This is why heaven is teaching you to take authority over your thoughts. When the enemy whispers you're not enough, respond with truth. I am chosen and equipped. When fear says you'll lose everything, declare, I lack nothing, for my source is divine. Your words are weapons, sharpen them. Every declaration is an act of warfare. The time has come to armor your mind with the promises of God, not empty affirmations, but divine confirmations. You don't need to convince heaven. Heaven already said yes. You just need to silence the lies that say otherwise. This is not positive thinking, this is prophetic thinking. The difference? Positive thinking hopes for change, prophetic thinking creates it. Anointed One, every chosen soul must learn this. Peace is not the absence of war, but mastery within it. You can't avoid the noise, but you can choose what you listen to. You can't control the arrows, but you can lift your shield. The armor of faith is not built in comfort, it's forged in resistance. Every attack that didn't destroy you actually designed your defense. You've learned how to fight differently now, not with reaction, but with revelation. You don't waste energy arguing with darkness, you simply shine. You don't beg for peace, you become it. And because of that, the enemy's tactics are losing power. The same triggers that once broke you now bounce off of you. The same doubts that once paralyzed you now strengthen you. You are no longer prey, you are proof. Chosen one, this mental warfare was never about your sanity, it was about your sovereignty. Heaven has been teaching you how to rule from within, to be still and know that you are covered. The storms were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to teach you dominion. So now, when fear knocks, don't answer in panic, answer in authority. Say, you have the wrong address. When doubt whispers, reply, my spirit already knows the truth. When confusion comes, decree, peace, be still. Because you are not just surviving this war, you are mastering it. Your faith is your fortress, your mind is your throne, and the one thing the enemy cannot stand is a chosen one who has learned to think like heaven. Anointed One, the battlefield of the mind has been won. The fog is lifting, the noise is fading, clarity is returning, and now that your mind is free, your manifestation can finally flow. You are walking into the next season with a renewed mind, an anchored heart, and an unbreakable spirit. The war didn't destroy you, it crowned you. And now, chosen one, it's time to command peace and create destiny. Chosen one, this is the moment everything inside you has been leading toward. Every battle, every heartbreak, every hidden season, it all converges here. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the divine intersection of purpose and timing. Heaven has waited for this awakening, and now the sound of your obedience is echoing in eternity. Anointed One, you have survived the fire, the silence, and the separation. You've walked through the valley and learned how to praise in the dark. What was once breaking you has now built you. What felt like delay was actually design, and now the heavens are saying, the process is complete. This is not another motivation, this is activation. You are not just hearing words, you are receiving a mantle. Something sacred is being released into your life right now, an impartation of power, wisdom, and divine acceleration. You are not being inspired, you are being ignited. Chosen One, this awakening is not just personal, it's generational. Your obedience will ripple through your lineage. Your breakthrough will shift bloodlines. You are the interruption to every cycle that kept your family bound. You are the voice heaven raised to break patterns of poverty, fear, and limitation. When you rise, everything connected to you rises too. I know it hasn't been easy. There were nights you prayed with no words left, days when you showed up while bleeding inside. But those tears were not wasted. Heaven collected everyone. And now, the God who sees in secret is about to reward you openly. This is the hour of manifestation. The dreams you buried because they hurt too much to hope, for heaven is resurrecting them. The promises that felt delayed are being expedited. The anointing that was developing in private is about to overflow in public. You are stepping into a season where alignment will feel effortless, doors will open without knocking, and provision will arrive before the need is spoken. But remember this, what's coming is not about status, it's about service. You've been chosen not just to prosper, but to pour, to carry light into dark places, to speak life into dry bones, to be a vessel through which heaven touches earth. Your prosperity is not about accumulation, it's about activation, fueling the mission you were born for. Anointed One, the release has already begun. Even as you listen, the atmosphere around you is shifting. The same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is quickening your destiny. Expect divine coincidences that aren't coincidences. Expect messages, opportunities, confirmations, and encounters that prove heaven is orchestrating your steps. Lift your head, Chosen One. This is not the end of your story, it's the unveiling of your purpose. Everything that tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed. And now, you are blooming in the very soil that once tried to suffocate you. Your faith has graduated, your authority is rising, your time is now. So, I speak this over you. May your mind remain steadfast, your heart pure, and your spirit discerning. May you walk boldly in divine favor and stand fearlessly in divine truth. May your hands carry healing, your words carry light, and your life carry proof that heaven still moves through man. Chosen One, heaven is not waiting anymore, it's moving through you. Go forth as a carrier of the promise, a vessel of the transfer, and a living declaration of divine fulfillment. You are not stepping into a new season, you are stepping into your destiny. It's time, rise, Anointed One. The heavens have spoken, and you have answered. Chosen One, this is not the end, this is the unveiling. Heaven is not finished with you, it is flowing through you. What you feel right now, that stirring in your spirit, that trembling in your heart, is confirmation that something has shifted. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the divine intersection where destiny and timing finally meet. Anointed One, the war you've survived was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to define you. Every delay was divine strategy, every betrayal was a redirection, and every silence was the sound of God working behind the veil. You have passed the test. The heavens have seen your endurance, and now the release has begun. The supernatural transfer, is already in motion. Finances, favor, opportunities, and wisdom are aligning with your name. You will not chase what is meant for you, it will find you. This next season will not require striving, it will require standing. Stand in faith, stand in alignment, stand in your authority as one chosen, sealed, and sent. Chosen one, lift your head. The atmosphere around you has changed. What once resisted you will now respond to you. The heavens are bearing witness. You are not forgotten. You are favored. Before this moment ends, let your action become agreement. Declare it in the comments. I receive my transfer. Share this message so that another sleeping giant may awaken. And if your spirit feels the call, stay connected not for content, but for confirmation. Go in peace, anointed one. Go in purpose. Go as proof that heaven's hand is upon you. Your time is not coming. Your time is now. And all of heaven is watching as you rise.